Okay, so let's talk about the movie Honk for Jesus, which just released this past weekend. It's in theaters as well as on Peacock. So if you haven't checked it out, should you go check it out? Well, let's get into this review right now. So this is definitely a movie that I was anticipating ever since I saw the first trailer. I think Sterling K. Brown as well as Regina Hall are very funny when they want to be funny, and this is a movie, of course, that is sort of put out as a comedy, but in the end it has deeper meaning as well to it, and it does take you in a direction that I didn't expect to be taken in, honestly. And I can see why some people can come into this thinking something and then coming out the other way after it, because of this sort of like way that the movie's presented in the trailers and all of that, and then it quickly takes a turn, and I mean quickly. So we'll get into that if y'all want. At the end I'll have spoilers and all of that, and I'll let y'all know when the spoilers come. But let's get into this review real quick. If you don't want any spoilers, there will be no spoilers until the end of the video, so don't worry about that. This is just me talking about the film and what I thought about it, if it's good or not, and if you should go see it in theaters or watch it on Peacock. So if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. We have another review today on a TV show, and as well as an update on the new movie that I'm very excited for. So let's get into Honk for Jesus. So this very much so follows a church that's going through a whole ordeal of things after this scandal breaks with their pastor. I'm not going to get into the scandal and all of that here because I don't want to give any spoilers, but pretty much they're trying to bring the church back after this scandal. They're trying to get the congregation to come forth because the church has been closed for some time now, as they try to handle all of these issues that have recently popped up. And so we follow Sterling K. Brown as that pastor and Regina Hall as his wife, as they battle through all of these things and try to get back into the big church that they used to be. And I like the fact that Regina and Sterling here have great chemistry together. Every time they're in scenes together, it's electrifying, it's funny, and just those tense moments as well are built up so good between the both of them that then they go back into who they are trying to pretend to be for the public. And I really enjoy those aspects of the movie where we really see there's two different sides to each of these characters. It's the persona they put out to the public, but also the persona they put out to themselves between each other, because you never really see them be vulnerable or raw with one another. And I like seeing that character dynamic between them, that they're able to switch back and forth, and that's just because they're such great actors themselves. I also think a lot of the other actors involved in this movie were good as well, especially this core group that is very much so devoted to them and does so in a way where they're still going to the congregations, they're helping them rebrand the church and all of that. And I like that scene that they're in at the beginning of the film when they're trying to figure out what's the best way to approach this. Some of the laugh out loud moments in the audience, especially seeing this with an audience, was great, because I think you get a lot more of those connecting things that bring everybody together to laugh and to just like groan at some things that happen here as well, which I thought was good as well. Overall, I did enjoy the comedy in here. I thought it was good. I thought that it was hitting, but I also did enjoy the deeper messaging that was in here, as well as the themes they were trying to explore as well. Because as I said, when I first saw this trailer, I was like, this is just a comedy straight up, but I still want to watch it. But when I went to go see this movie, completely 360 me, because I was just expecting something different, and I was just like, okay, we're gonna go there. And I was like, I want to go there. Let's see. Let's unpack all of this. Let's see what we got. And the movie did that just well until we got to the end. So let's get into some of the things I wasn't really feeling in this movie. So I think that there was this sort of weird thing with the aspect ratio, because this sort of is filmed as a documentary, but at the same time a movie. So you're seeing them film the documentary, but then when the documentary is not being filmed, it looks like a movie. So there's a change of aspect ratio back and forth. And throughout the movie, it was okay. It wasn't jarring or anything that took me out of the movie. But towards the end, I would say the last 20 minutes of the movie, it happens so much that you're just like, okay, what are y'all doing on the screen, right? That was something that I really didn't like about the movie towards the end, is these movements of the camera. By the time I think we get to the ending, I don't think you need to keep going back and forth, because we get it what's going on, and it's just more of a distraction than anything. Seeing like the aspect ratio change from wide to like fitting the screen, it was just a lot of things that made me get out of the movie with that. The themes here, like I said, were great to be explored, but I think the movie, by the end of it, doesn't know whether to hit you with the gut punch or it's pulling punches back at a point, and you're just like, okay, what are you trying to get at here, right? Like, what am I supposed to feel by the end of all of this? And I know that a movie shouldn't hold your hand or anything like that, but I feel like sometimes you do have to give a little bit more as to what are we exactly doing here, because I felt that the ending was very abrupt as well, in my opinion. Now, I do think that endings can just come because they might feel like a real life situation where it's just like that's where we're stopping here, the story. It's up to you to infer what happens next. But this one, I felt like it needed to have that conclusive end, and I felt that was missing from it. And so that was just one of my complaints right there. But like I said, overall, minor things towards the end, because the movie for 2/3 of it felt really good and something that I really enjoyed for sure. But it was just that ending that really took me away from it. But overall, this is a movie I would really recommend if you want to see it in an audience. If you enjoy that audience experience, which I do in theaters, I would go for a matinee for this one. I'm not sure about shelling out the full money on this one, but a matinee definitely. Or if you don't really want to see it with an audience and everything, you're in luck because it's on Peacock, and I still recommend seeing this. I think it's definitely a good movie that opens up this conversation with the church and everything. So we'll get into a little spoilers right now, but that's pretty much my review right there. Matinee or Peacock, whichever you prefer. If you don't like audiences and all of that, definitely Peacock. But if you do, definitely matinee price for sure. Now we're going to get into spoilers, so if you don't want any spoilers, this is where you head off. So I want to thank you for watching this video. Make sure you're subscribed. Turn that notification bell on. Our podcast episode tomorrow. I fixed the audio, don't worry. So definitely appreciate you, but we're about to get into spoilers in 1, 2, 3. So massive spoilers here for the movie where we see that Sterling K. Brown plays a pastor who has been sort of sexual allegations against him, and this is from a group of young men who come out and pretty much try to say like he's been sort of like bribing them and all of that, and his wife knows about it as well. And I thought that that was definitely a good thing that they were exploring here, is sort of how you can have these sort of like leaders at the top and everybody reveres them, all of that, and when you have something come out against them that is so incriminating that they are doing and so hypocritical of them as well, it makes a very interesting case with the community as well as to how they feel about it. Because throughout the film, I enjoyed the aspect of them layering pieces of interviews and everything from people that go to the church, that know of the church, how they feel about the pastor, and once they know what the pastor has done and if they're still like rocking with him or not. And I did enjoy that aspect of it, because that is a situation that we see a lot of in like society, not just I think with like celebrities or anything like that, but also in communities that are pretty much having these like heroes of sorts, and then you find out they're pretty scummy deep down because of all the things they do. So I thought that that was definitely a good aspect that the film was trying to like talk about. So I thought it was great the way it was presented, and it showed you as well, because I think at the beginning they try to get Sterling's character, the pastor, to sort of be this person that you're just like, that's a funny guy and I really like this guy. So later on when it presents all of these things, it makes you feel conflicted that you even said that, and sort of has you feeling like the people as well that they're interviewing as well, saying that all of these things happened, and then he's denying it at the same time. So it puts you into this whole like state of like all of these things coming at you at the same time, which is how it feels when things like this happen in our society. So I like that the film did that for sure, and really tried to put a magnifying glass in all of this, because I think it's an important topic to be discussed about society and the people that we put and elevate to a certain level, that when things happen like this, that sometimes some people don't want to see these people at the top be brought down for some reason or whatever it may be. So I really did like that for sure. But like I said, this is definitely worth a matinee price or Peacock. Definitely go check it out if you haven't. And I'm excited to see what this directors will do with this now as we move forward, because I think that they definitely have an eye for comedy and as well as diving into deeper issues. So we'll see what happens, but let me know. Anyways, check out the videos on the left if you haven't already. I do have a review on this Fool, a new Hulu show. I was about to say something else. I do have a review on this Fool coming out today. It might be out by the time you're watching this. A new Hulu show. We're going to be talking about more shows as well. And we also have a Hellraiser video coming out talking about the new movie. So stay tuned for that. But make sure you're subscribed and turn that notification bell on so you know when those videos drop. But as always, that is going to do it for me. Like I said, we are on the road to 25,000 subscribers. We're trying to get there before the end of the month, so make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell so we can get there a lot quicker. And as always, I'll see all of you next time. New podcast episode tomorrow, so don't miss out on that, and some other stuff as well as announcements for what's coming this month and in October. So very excited for all of this. As always, I'll see all of you next time. Stay safe, stay positive.